Hello everyone, I'm KERRY-LOU'S and welcome to Silver Style Studio. A couple of years ago, I made a video about my silver hair journey, and I've been wanting to make a follow-up to that video for some time now. Many of you asked some great questions in the comment section to that video, and we're going to answer some of those questions today. Joining me today via Zoom will be Tamara of Tamara's Timeless Beauty. Yes, who doesn't love 2 for 1? And that's what you're getting today. I'm sure many of you know Tamara. She shares some great information on beauty products and how we can look our best at any age. And if you haven't checked her out yet, what are you waiting for? But hold on, don't go yet, because we have some good stuff coming up right here. So here's how it will work. I'm going to ask Tamara some questions about her silver hair journey, and then you can pop over to her channel and she's going to ask me some questions about my silver hair journey. Sounds like fun, right? This is going to be a great discussion, whether you've been silver for years or whether you're deciding that you might want to transition to silver. Hopefully we'll answer some of your questions. So let's go right over to that Zoom chat because we have a lot to talk about. Hey Tamara, it's so great to have you here. I feel like I know you already because I've been watching you for the last couple of years. Your rise to stardom on YouTube, it's so exciting. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I have been a super fan of yours for quite a long time. It's been really fun getting to know you, and I'm super excited to be doing this chat with you today.
Well, I can't wait to ask you some questions because I've always been curious about your beautiful hair and your silver journey. So we've both had videos about our silver hair, but we've received a lot of questions from our viewers. So maybe this will help answer some of those questions. And the first question I have for you is, when your silver journey began, when did you quit coloring your hair?
Well, I would say my silver journey began several years before I actually had the strength to actually quit coloring my hair. I started thinking about going natural or letting my hair dye grow out right after I turned 50. And I just started seeing so many inspirational women, especially Cindy Joseph, who had the makeup line Boom. And then I got into YouTube. You were a huge inspiration for me. You are a pioneer for sure. It took me a long time to get to the point where I could actually do it. I had 2 failed attempts where I just, caved in and dyed my hair. But ultimately, the last time I dyed my hair was June of 2018. And I cut the last of the dye off in December of 2019. It took about 2 years. I might have those dates a little bit wrong.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let me ask you something. You say you had 2 failed attempts. How far did you get? Like, how many inches were grown out when you said, no, I can't do this anymore?
Part of my strategy going back several years was I switched from, I always did my own dye, right? Box dye at home. So that was part of the journey. But so several years ago, I switched from number 3 permanent dye to number 2 semi-permanent dye, thinking that because number 2 semi-permanent fades as well as grows out, the demarcation line would be less obnoxious.
You would think so. Mm-hmm.
You would think so. It did help a little bit. It did soften that transition line. So when I say I had 2 failed attempts, I probably went 4 or 5 months. I had probably grown out 1.5 inches before I said, I can't do this. Ultimately, my hairstylist and friend, Julie, and she and I have done a video together before. Ultimately, it was with her support and encouragement, and we did it together. We supported each other. We were in a similar process. Her hair is quite a bit lighter than mine, so her journey was a little bit easier than mine. Mm-hmm. But by having the support of a friend, I just muscled through it, and certainly, use all the tools, root powder, hats, wearing my hair up. And I somehow got through it. It took 2 years from start to finish.
And so your natural hair color is what, like a brown, a dark brown?
It's quite dark, yes. It was quite dark. As I was growing up, I would say dark brown. Some people thought I had black hair. It wasn't really black, but it was quite dark brown. And then
So
when I was dyeing it, it was more of a medium dark warm brown, which was not quite my natural hair color.
So it's definitely easier for blondes, as you mentioned. You said your hairstylist is blonde, because then you can keep pieces of blonde and you can still choose little areas that you wish to grow out. So it's more of a gradual process.
Absolutely. And also with my friend Julie's support as a stylist, because she could see my roots, she was very, very encouraging. Now, I'm not sure exactly why we didn't go down the route of, trying to add some highlights or make it easier. But probably me, I'm just the type of person to muscle through, and I made it.
Yes, you did it cold turkey, and good for you. Just to let the viewers know too, you were talking about having the support of your stylist. Another great way to get support is if you're on Instagram, there's a great hashtag to follow. It's grombre, as in ombre, but gray. So I guess it's GROMBRY hashtag. And there are so many fantastic images that you can see of all different types of women, different textures, at a different stage in their journey. And it's a great way to get encouragement if you're starting to grow out your silver hair, but you're feeling, a little bit disheartened.
I am so glad you mentioned that, because one of my biggest regrets about my gray hair transition is that I didn't embrace it more, because when I see some of these women on Instagram, like you're mentioning, silver is the new black, Jen goes crazy. They celebrated their transition, and it was super, super cool to watch. So I wish I would have documented it. I wish I would have celebrated it instead of, always trying to hide it. It can be a really empowering experience.
Well, it's getting more popular all the time. I actually did this about 10 years ago, but it's getting easier and easier because of all that great support. But let me ask you another question, and that is, how has your new color impacted your fashion color choices, like your makeup and the clothes you're wearing?
Huge impact, really. When I was a more medium, warm, dark brown, I've always been a neutrals girl, first of all, black, gray, cream, brown, camel. Once I went silver, I found I really could not wear the camel anymore, the browns anymore. Definitely, I'm going more cool tones in both my, clothing and my makeup. So there was a definite sort of transition from warmer tones to cooler tones. But yeah, so I love wearing gray more than ever now. I love wearing gray. So
yes, I do too. I have to stop myself. My husband is great to shop with, actually, because he's a photographer. He has a good eye. So I will pick something up and he'll say, wait a minute, don't you already have that? And I'm like, yes. So
right.
Sometimes I go into a shop and say, okay, I need to choose some colors, not just gray and black.
I know. I'm getting into blue. I see you're wearing sort of is that a powder blue or a lilac?
Yes,
that's super
it's like
pretty on you.
Blue. And yes, I love this color now. I would never have worn it before. So yes, I'm going softer also. So another question, let's see. Oh, well, since we're both out there on social media, I've experienced this. I'm sure you have too. Do you ever get any like snarky comments, any negative feedback?
Absolutely. And the more my channel grows, the more negative feedback I get. And the most common negative comment that I get is definitely about my hair. Having said that, I have to say, almost all of the comments and the feedback that I get both from my channel and both from on YouTube and on Instagram, overwhelmingly sweet, kind, supportive, lovely. But the negative comments, the snarky comments, are almost always regarding my gray hair, specifically that it makes me look old. and specifically asking the question. Sometimes people have a very honest question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you let your hair go gray when you are, using retin A and trying to anti-age your skin? And so that honest question, I can understand. There does seem to be a little bit of a contradiction there. But then you have the people that say, I don't know why you bother with, all your skincare when you let your hair go gray and you look about 70 or 80 years old. So, the mean comments are deleted.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the honest questions I do try to answer, which is one of the reasons I'm really glad we're doing this today. So we can answer some of those honest questions.
Yes, that's right. There's a big difference between somebody asking a genuine question about why you chose to, if they genuinely don't understand, and then we're more than happy to explain our thought process. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, you do get some people just saying, "Hey, dye your hair." And that's the comment. Hey, dye your hair. You look like 80. Yes, I totally get those too.
Yeah.
So let's look at another question here. Okay, so what's your favorite thing or your least favorite thing about being gray?
My favorite thing is the freedom and the authenticity that I feel. I feel like me. And when I finally cut the last of the dye off in December of 2019, I felt amazing. I was so surprised at how much I loved my hair. I love the silkiness. I love the shininess. I love the uniqueness. I love the freedom. I absolutely love everything about having my gray hair. My least favorite thing would be, what is it? What is my least? My least favorite thing is it can wash you out. You really do need to add a little color in your lipstick, your blush, your clothing, your makeup, because definitely it can make you look a little washed out. And granted, sometimes it does make me look a little bit older, but in general, I absolutely love it.
Well, I think socially, gray hair says over 50. And I mean, in an instinctive way, because of historically what we've learned socially. When you see gray hair, it's a person that's older, over 50. And that's why when some younger women say to me, and they're like 30 maybe or 40, I don't know whether to go gray or silver. Will it make me look older? That's a tricky question, because sometimes at first glance, yes, it will. It could give people that impulse that you're an older person. But we're seeing more and more younger people going silver. So I kind of think that's going to change.
I agree with you 100%. And I think that the more women of all ages who are embracing their silver strands, gradually, cultural perspective is going to change. And my hope is that, and I believe this, someday gray hair will not be automatically associated with old age or elderly, older person.
Yes.
You know, my daughter is 36. She loves my gray hair so much. She has decided she is not dyeing her hair. She does have some salt and pepper coming in. And I'm even seeing some of the younger ladies here on YouTube who are choosing not to dye their hair. Michelle Wang, she is letting her salt and pepper gray hair grow in. Jen Loves. So I'm really excited that not only are people ditching the dye after many, many years, many people are choosing never to start dyeing in the first place. Now, having said that, I want to be very clear about something. No judgment. This is not a moral question. I help my aunt who lives next door, who's 77, touch up her blonde roots every 4 to 6 weeks. So I completely support anybody's decision to dye their hair.
Yes,
but
my favorite person in the world was one of my next door neighbors years ago. Her name was Rose. And when I was a newlywed, she was about 80 and she had short, funky red hair. Now, that was her signature. And she had that hair until the day she died. And it was her. She was zesty. She was funny.
Yeah.
And it really suited her. So, yes, it's very personal. And like you said, it's not judgy. It's just like all these things we do, whether you do Botox or Juvederm or you have a facelift, or it's your decision to make. It's very personal, and I don't think anyone should be judging other women for what they choose to do.
100% agree.
Just a note to what you said about young people letting their hair go silver. Also, there are so many dyeing their hair these beautiful shades of gray and silver. Like, I was walking through the city the other day and I saw at least 3 gorgeous long heads of silver hair on 20-somethings. And it's my hope that they're going to want our wrinkles too. Like, how awesome would that be if all over YouTube and Instagram, these girls were like, oh, check out my wrinkles. Aren't they fabulous?
I love that. Actually, that is happening. That is happening. I'm following some older women on Instagram who are rocking not only their silver hair, but their wrinkles. And it is really, I don't know, helping me embrace my current age and look forward to, you know, growing older gracefully and gratefully and as naturally as possible.
I think it really does help. I saw some ads recently, Eileen Fisher ads, and they're using older women also in their advertising and in their catalog. And they're very natural looking, no retouching. And I must say, it really does make you feel more content, less pressure. You feel better about yourself when you see people that look like we do.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons that I am so happy being on YouTube and watching women my age on YouTube. I watch all ages. I love Instagram and YouTube, and I love all ages, younger women, older women. But I really think that by being on YouTube at age 62, I think we are the same age. Hopefully that we can encourage younger women, older women to have greater contentment with where they're at in their life.
That's wonderful. I hope so. By the way, I'll be 64 at the end of this month.
Happy almost birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. This has kind of been like a birthday month. My husband's very sweet. He keeps buying me gifts, and then he'll say, oh, I can't wait until your birthday, and he'll give me something, and then he'll say, oh, but now I don't have anything for your birthday. So he gets me something else. So it's kind of good.
What a doll. What a doll.
Yes. So I have one final question for you, Tamara, and that is, who are your gray idols?
Oh my gosh, so many, but I will say that one of the early inspirations, I already mentioned Cindy Joseph, rest in peace. She died young, but Allie McGraw, I've been a fan of hers for so many years, but I saw her on Oprah over a period of years. And she came on in her 60s when she had dark brown hair. And then she came on when she was transitioning her hair from brown to gray. And then she came on in her middle to later 60s when she was talking about going gray. And she was one of my early inspirations. I follow her on Instagram. I love her. That was when Oprah still had her daily show. How long ago was that?
That was a long time ago. Yes.
So
she was a trailblazer.
Completely a trailblazer. She's one of my favorites.
Tamara, I could speak with you all day, but unfortunately we're running out of time because I would like the viewers at the end of this video to jump over to your channel where you're going to interview me and I'm going to answer more questions. So we'll wrap this up for now, and hopefully we'll get together again and have another Zoom chat. I wish we could chat in person and have some tea together or something. But anyway, this is good for now. You never know what might happen in the future. I do plan on traveling around the States some more, so maybe I'll knock on your door sometime.
I know. And I have my cousin lives in upstate New York, so you never know. It would be really fun to meet in person someday. But in the meantime, this has been super fun, and I cannot wait to ask you your questions.
Yes, so let's go over to your channel now.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye. See you soon.
I so enjoyed that, and I hope you did too, and that you'll go over to Tamara's Timeless Beauty to check out more of this discussion and to see more of her videos. All the information about how to get to Tamara's Timeless Beauty is in the video description below. Feel free to join in the discussion. Let me know how your silver journey's been. Any tips for the other viewers? I always love to hear from you, so please comment below. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.